All right, everybody, man, what's going on? How y'all doing? Welcome to today's edition of SWAC Smoke, episode number 101. As you can see, we got Jamie G in the house, and we have Mr. Blue Bloods himself in the house, Mr. Zach McKinnell. I think he on mute right now, but I think he's gonna drop in a second. What's going on, Jamie G? Man, how you doing today?
Man, hey, it's hot on this Thursday because we got hot topics fresh off the press, big
Fresh,
fellas.
fresh off the press.
Fella.
Um,
So,
hey, just like the weather, man. Everything, everything is hot, man.
boy,
So
it's hot and smoking and steaming around here. I
we
hope
got
y'all right.
we got Zoe in
What's
the house.
cracking
Hey,
around, big brother Zoe in the building?
got Zoe in the house definitely. We lost Blue. We're gonna get him back in a second.
My
We
man
got
Crook in the
my
building.
man
What's
Crook in
happening,
the
big
house.
Crook?
What's up, boy? What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Yeah, man.
Um,
Man, text me laughing, man. I'm about to meet Crook, man. He a Southern fan. He a Southern guy, ain't he?
yeah, man, that's a
Yeah,
Jaguar, man.
hey, I want to meet that man when I come down there, bro. That man, a trip, bro. A true trip. He keeps it hype, bro, on everything.
So man, like I say, we lost Blue, man. Hopefully we can get him back. He on the road right now, so y'all know how that go. Ain't no telling, what kind of stuff he driving through. But we hopefully we can get him back on. I want to go ahead and start this off, bro. I got a couple things I wanted to talk about, but I just saw this fresh off the press. I'm gonna run through it. What's going on, Tim? Timothy Ziegler, what's going on? What's going on with the VI Love family? Boy, Law, what's going on, boy? I see all y'all up in here. So this is straight from Coach Huggins. I don't know if a lot of y'all, look at his content, draft HBCU player, that's his Twitter handle. He did a FCS HBCU top 21 rankings, which is all 21 HBCU teams. Let's get Blue back in here. All right, Blue, we got you, man. You here?
Yeah, back in here, man. I told you, I haven't had any service issues this whole drive. And, of course, right when we start the show, we're going to have all the issues in the world.
You know how technology is, man. It don't never, it always work until it's ready to work. So, man, we're gonna go ahead and I'm going to run through this top 21. Basically, what he said was he considered factors like quarterback play, running back talent, wide receiver depth, offensive and defensive line strength, linebacker prowess, defensive back skills, and overall coaching staff. So number one is North Carolina Central. I think most people don't really have a problem with that, correct?
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty. I think that's a consensus.
All right. Number two is FAMU.
That's a bad. I mean, I think it's pretty much a consensus. FAMU's probably top 3. So I don't hate to if you're gonna if it's gonna be tight after you get past Central. So I'm not gonna argue it, but when I personally have them 2, maybe not.
All right. What about you, Jamie G?
Until they win the Blue Blossom Classic, maybe so.
All right. Number 3 is Howard.
On NCAA 07 or 14.
That's our first question mark.
Okay.
Number 4 is Alcorn.
Oh, who got 5?
5 is Southern.
Okay. What we got? What's next?
6 is Morgan State.
Okay, 7.
Alabama State.
Okay, what we got at 8?
Texas Southern.
Oh, okay, 9.
9 is Tennessee State.
Dang. Tennessee State's supposed to be really good this year.
Well, defensively they're supposed to be good. I don't know about offensively.
Yeah, that defense is supposed to be top, maybe one of the best. Keep going.
Number 10 is Alabama A&M.
Okay.
11 is Grambling.
Okay.
12 is Prairie View.
Keep going.
13 is Hampton.
Okay.
14 is South Carolina State.
Okay.
15 is North Carolina A&T.
They really ain't HBCU no more, but okay, keep going.
Well, then number 13, you gotta say the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. Number 16, Jackson State.
Man, these people. Anyway, keep going. Oh, this is his opinion, y'all. This is what he's saying.
If for anybody coming in late, this is not the SWAC smoke ranking, so y'all don't think we did this. Number 7.
I'm gonna let Zoe do the inform Coach Huggins what's going on. Because keep going.
Number 17 is Norfolk State.
Shout out to Big Worm, but
Number 18 is Delaware State.
Okay.
19 is Bethune-Cookman.
What, Bethune-Cookman over somebody? Okay, keep going.
20 is Pine Bluff.
Oh. Man, okay. And what we got?
21 is Valley. That closed it out.
But didn't Valley beat Bethune-Cookman?
Yep. And word is Valley's supposed to be loading up on guys. So this is interesting to say the least. Like you say, bro, this is his opinion.
It's just a formulated opinion. He said he put in factors and all types of formulas to come up with this. But I know one thing that's kept that they saying Texas Southern was better than Bama State right now. You know what I'm saying?
No, they got Bama State over Texas Southern.
Oh, Bama State over Southern? Oh, okay, cool. But I know one thing that kept Prairie View behind Texas Southern. Now that's a lot of cap.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting to me. What's up? We got my boy Craig in the house, H-Town. Man, we lost Blue, man. Hopefully we can get him back. Like I said, he traveling right now, so you know how that go, man. Sometimes things don't go the way you need them to go, but hopefully we can get him back in. If not, then we're gonna definitely get him back again. But right now he on his way to D-Town, so y'all know how that go. It is, man. You know, and that's why I just wanted to have fun with it. You know, I mean, obviously, I'm not that shade of blue, so it don't really bother me. But I just, like I said, that's just something I wanted to throw out there because it did what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? It got me talking. I'm sure it's gonna get a lot of people talking. I'm sure Twitter gonna go crazy. But like I said, it's the preseason. You got to come up with stuff, and hey, what better way to come up with content and get interaction on your content than to talk about the most active team on Twitter. You know what I'm saying, on social media. Period. So you're gonna get the response that you want. You poking at JSU Tiger, you're gonna get the response that you want.
The Valley did beat they beat Bethune, heck, and then they beat Prairie View in Prairie View. Right?
Yeah, they beat Prairie View twice.
Yeah, but I don't know what he got to factor in, but it's hey, that's his opinion, man. That's how. Hey, I don't know if he's an expert yet, man. Is he an expert yet?
I mean, so he sometimes he seems like it, bro. Then he do things that make me look at him funny. But I mean, he's a guy that I mean, when it comes to evaluating talent, it is. Yeah, I got less questions about Valley, man, than than I do with Bethune-Cookman because I don't even know who Bethune-Cookman got on their team. All right, let's see. We can get my man Blue back up in here again. All right, man.
Oh no, I'm here now. I pulled over. I was getting frustrated. I got my signal back. I said, "Oh no, we're stopping to get this one in." So we good now. But so,
hey,
so
all right, man.
right?
Hey, which part?
The Jackson State at 16.
16, and that's the only reason why I did this. Because if Jackson State was anywhere else, I wouldn't even worried about it. But 16.
That's okay. I'm trying to think because I didn't even get to hear the whole list, but I saw the comments when I was waiting to be hop back on here. I'm just trying to think, like, because I get it. Like, I think you could. I think if I wouldn't be mad if they had FAMU over them. Like, I get it, Central, but outside of that, man, it gets real tough to even argue for some of the people they had to have over. Because I'm assuming Morgan, they had probably Morgan over them. They probably had Howard over them. But what West teams did they have over Jackson?
I'm gonna run through the teams that you named. Howard is number 3, so that's already interesting to me. Morgan is number 6, and from the West you got Alcorn at 4, Southern at 5, TSU at 8, Grambling at 11, and Prairie View at 12. So the only West team that ain't above them is Pine Bluff. And the only East team that's not above them is Valley and Bethune-Cookman.
Nah, that's crazy. That's insane. Come on, man. Like you can't tell me right now that if they play today, would anybody pick Jackson to lose to A&M or Alabama State?
No. And I mean, like I say, man for man on the roster, yes, they got a lot of guys that they lost, but they did return guys. But I still don't see that team being the 16th team out of 21. And this is not like a national FCS poll, where 16 out of 100 and whatever is, that's strong. But
I just can't believe. I mean, because you got to think the Hero Sports FCS poll, which I voted in, and the FCS Stats Per Form poll comes out, I think, in 2 weeks, and that's like the national poll that gets recognized. But Hero Sports had them 20th in the entire FCS, so they're 20th in the entire nation right now preseason for FCS, but they're going to be the 16th best HBCU.
Yeah, that don't make any sense. And like I said, I get opinion. I get, he got a criteria that he put together, and it is what it is. But sometimes, some things are just so outlandish to me that yes, you don't need to give it a lot of attention. But that was, I saw that and I was like, we got to talk about this because he only dropped it like 3 hours ago, and I was like, I got to see what y'all think about that.
Maybe this what happened. Maybe, fellas, this what happened. How about maybe some of his, maybe like his dog probably hit the button wrong or something, and it just jumbled up the whole list and it said senior. How about that?
Yeah, I don't, because I heard what he said the poll was supposed to do, and I guess Jackson did lose a lot. I don't think anyone's going to argue that, but I don't think that correlates to them being 16 out of 21 on any poll unless you're purely ranking return, like who's coming back.
Yeah. First off, before I jump on that again. So is Coach Huggins from Draft HBCU Playoffs? That's his Twitter handle. So I'm sure everybody know by now.
Stump Mitchell. That's this who made the list. Stump Mitchell, bro. James Bill made his list.
So I mean, like I say, man, I have a lot of questions. And anybody can be good this season. We don't know. We're sitting here in July. Anything can happen. But I just don't see being barely better than Norfolk State or Delaware State. It's like.
No, I'm taking Jackson by 20 plus against either of those teams right now, especially Norfolk. Norfolk's going to be. I really think they could win one game this year, maybe.
And that's what got me about Hampton, because everybody was saying how Hampton's supposed to be so bad this year. You know, like Hampton may not win a game this year. I think they got one. What they playing? Morehouse or somebody that people think that might be their only victory.
Their only victory might be Norfolk State.
So you got a team that's predicted by most people to win one game, and they finishing higher than a team that's in contention for the SWAC championship. I don't care how many guys you lost. Did the team all get sick? Everybody out for the year? What? I mean, do we know something we don't know?
Yeah, I can't. I love my guy G and him. Listen, draft HBCU. Those guys do great work promoting, HBCU guys from the NFL drafts and everything. But I can't get behind this poll. This is hard to defend. I don't even know what to say, man. You can't have Jackson at 16 out of 21 below some of the teams that he did.
Yeah, like you say, I mean, I love Coach G, man. I read all his stuff. But when it comes to making lists this season, man, he been kind of shaky. You remember the quarterback list, was kind of iffy. So I don't know. Maybe he's just doing this so he can get some traction in attention. So, but I guess only time will tell. Yeah, like I say, he did have a point total assigned to each team with their rankings, and Jackson State finished with 92 points. FAMU had 190. North Carolina Central was 191. So basically that's a tie for first place with a 1 point difference between the two teams.
Just me personally, I don't think FAMU is that close to beating Central.
Yeah, I don't think it's like you said, that's neck and neck, and I don't think they're that close. And FAMU is 14 points ahead of Howard. So there's a huge gap between 2 and 3, and then there's a 15-point gap between 3 and 4, and then there's a 13-point gap between 5 and 6. So you're saying that these teams are all that far apart. I just don't see it right now. But to each their own. I don't see some of these teams being that good, but that's just me. So let's kind of, I don't want to drag this too long, but let's swing over a little bit. Let's talk some realistic expectations for those 3 bottom SWAC teams: Valley, Bethune-Cookman, and Pine Bluff. What do y'all think we can expect from them?
So I talked with Coach Fred, the wide receivers coach for Alcorn last night, and I really think with Bethune, I don't even think you can put a win total on what you need to see from them. I really do think for Bethune-Cookman, all you want to see is some step in the right direction, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if you go 1-10, 2-9. I think 3 wins would be an A+ year for Raymond Woody with all the turnover and everything you had to go through getting that job. But I just think you need to see some sort of give the fans, team, the administration something to look forward to in 2024. That's all I'm looking for Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, I feel the same way. When I was doing my preview, I was like, I can't put anything on this team. I was like, this is the hardest video I ever made because I don't have any clue on where this team is, realistically. I don't know any starters that they have. I don't know anything about the team. So it was all just a wild guess. I think they are truly, not to say this to make it sound like they suck, but right now I think they are the worst team right now because we don't know at all what they are. We just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, going into next year outside, I think they have one D2 game. I want to say.
Yeah, they play Savannah State.
Yeah, give them the win in that one, but I have a real feeling they'll probably be the underdog in all 10 games outside of that Savannah State game.
Yeah, and then you also got to factor in they got 2 FBS games, so you play Memphis and Miami.
No, they ain't gonna win them.
So
no Miami.
Definitely
not Miami.
On a Thursday night at that, like give yourself a short week for FBS game. So let's go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was trying to shift to Valley thinking, I mean, for them, it's tough too. Like I really do think looking at the schedule, the expectation should be 4 wins for Valley. I think that's where we kind of hang. That's where I would put it, especially with 2 D2 games. I know Delta State's not a gimme, especially because Delta State beat them by 15 last year or something like that, and Delta State's going to be really good. But you gotta, if you can win those 2 games, getting 2 games somewhere on that conference schedule would be massive for Valley. So put it at 4. I think 5, Kendrick Wade that would be huge momentum going into 2024 if you can catch somebody, especially because you get Jackson, FAM, and Bama State at home. If you can find a way to upset somebody at home of that caliber, talk about something to re-energize the fan base and the perception of Valley.
Yeah, I think if Valley win 5 games, I know the SWAC usually do the coach or the champ as the coach of the year, but if Valley win 5 games, I think Coach Wade should be coach of the year easily.
Yeah, maybe at 4. I mean, at 4, you got to put them depending on who they beat. Now, if their 2 wins are Bethune and I don't know who else you would put in there, like UAPB or someone like.
Yeah, they do play Pine Bluff.
Yeah, I don't know if you can give them coach of the year for that, but if they knock off a top team in that division, there's a serious conversation that needs to be had about Kendrick Wade being a consideration for SWAC coach of the year.
And so, I mean, like I said, that to me, that I like what Valley is doing. You know, I don't know how it's going to translate to wins or losses, but I like what they're doing. I like the energy from the program. I like that the fan base then got energized a little bit. I like what they're doing. What you think about Valley, Jamie G?
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all, man. At least 4 or 5 wins is a great season for Valley at this point. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like what they're doing. They putting together, you know, they always gonna be hard nosed, but I think, like Blue said, I think they're gonna upset somebody major in a beat them because that's a hard place to get a win out. Definitely, cause they gonna put on their shoes. They're gonna put on their hard hat. And they gonna go to work, bro. That's a hard team to beat up there. It ain't gonna be no easy task.
They bringing a lunch pail, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So let's jump over to Pine Bluff. Lou, what you think about Pine Bluff this season?
I put them in the same boat as I put Bethune because I talked about it because I know we're going to talk about this in terms of people going to SWAC Media Day. There might be, I would say, less than 20 people right now that aren't Pine Bluff fans that can name 10 players on that roster right now.
Ooh.
I mean, really and truly, like, who's the stars that you guys are looking forward to see play?
I'm agreeing with you because I don't know. Is Zach Gliff still the kicker? Trey Gliff, I mean,
yeah, Trey
Gliff's
still there. So I just want to put that in perspective. The most notable player on that roster right now is the kicker.
That says a lot, and that's a kid that didn't even start last season. And I'm not knocking him or nothing like that, but he wasn't the main guy. Just the fact that that's the guy that they know that I know out of everybody, that does say a lot. I don't even know who the running back is gonna be, nor the receivers. That's definitely gonna be a team that I hope they got names on the back of their jerseys because there's gonna be a lot of people trying to figure out who these guys are.
I wonder who we're gonna bring to SWAC Media Day. The UAPB mascot and maybe one of the band members.
They're gonna bring one of the turkey legs.
Yeah. Man, I said last night. So this is what someone messaged me because when they dropped the list, and I told the person I wouldn't drop their name just because it was funny that they said that UAPB could have picked up 2 random people on the street outside in Birmingham and brought them to SWAC Media Day, and no one would have asked any questions.
I agree. I mean, other than the people that watch our show, you could have got one of us and brought us there. Most people wouldn't even know. And I'm 46 years old, and nobody probably would even figure it out because nobody knows. I mean, they're bringing offensive lineman named Ryan Atkins and Anais Lukeman, a defensive lineman. So I've heard those names. I don't really know a lot about those guys, but at least I've heard those names. So not a flashy group, for your first foray in the SWAC Media Day, Coach Hampton.
Yeah, the running back though that D brought up in the chat, his name is Michael. I want to say Jamerson, if I remember off the top of my head. He was a junior college All-American, led Campbell in rushing 2 years ago, and just if I'm not mistaken, he died on injuries last season. So like that's a huge pickup. That's a good replacement for what was it? Kayvon Britton, who ended up transferring. I want to say Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, either Stephen F. Austin or Tarleton State, one of those two.
Yeah, it was one of the two because there was another HBCU running back that went to Stephen F. Austin. So like there were two guys that one went to Tarleton and one went to Stephen F. Austin. I don't remember which was which, but that's a huge pickup. It's just for me, and I think D said it in the chat. If you get 2 wins, that might be a solid season depending on who you beat.
Yeah,
that wasn't
I agree.
Alexander from that wasn't Tyson Alexander from JSU that went.
No, it wasn't Tyson. I'm trying to remember the kid who went to Tarleton. I want to say Kayvon went to Tarleton State, and then, oh my God, I don't know why I'm blanking on the kid's name who went to Stephen F. Austin, and I can't remember his name, and that's bad because I got to go talk to Stephen F. Austin's coach tomorrow, so I need to look that up.
I'm looking it up now. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Yeah, you might want to don't blank when you talk to the coach though. Let's see if I can find who.
But that guy from Campbell was a dog, though. I seen the film, man. That was a huge pickup. I think he can help them, like, for real.
Jaden Stewart from Prairie View.
Yes.
He's going to Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, he's going to be a stud.
Oh, he's going to be a dog.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him in that Stephen F. Austin offense. It's going to be an issue, especially because, if I'm not mistaken, it seems like they're going to start. If you guys remember the Brian Moore, the quarterback from Tennessee, he was the white kid that was all tattooed out. It led him to a big upset a few years back and had like a medical red shirt. And I think he's going to be the quarterback for Stephen F. Austin. So that offense is going to be ridiculous.
Oh yeah, they reloading. They reloading. So we're gonna stick with Media Day. I'm gonna run through the list of guys that's coming from each team, and we'll kind of just share our thoughts on them. Alabama A&M is bringing Donovan Eaglin and Zarion Hayes, running back and defensive end. Bama State bringing Jawan Howell, running back, and Bubba Adams, linebacker, who I hope stays healthy. Dude is always injured. Jarvion Howard from Alcorn and Malachi Bailey. That's a good group. Jimmy Robinson and Omari Hill Robinson from Bethune-Cookman. Florida A&M bringing Jeremy Musa, and now they bringing Javon Morgan. Let's talk about that real quick. FAMU was bringing Kamari Stevens, and the same day that they announced the list, he decided he was going back in the portal. So now they're bringing Javon Morgan, defensive back. I want to stop there for a minute. What y'all think about Stevens going back into the portal?
No disrespect to the kid, because I do believe that the transfer portal is a good thing. People should be able to play where they want. The way he did it, though, was so disrespectful. Like, can we just all agree on that? I mean,
oh yeah,
he made FAMU and Willie Simmons, like, he really made a move that embarrassed them. And, like, if you're going to – I think there's a way to do things, and it's cool to transfer. Go transfer and like you did the first time and just keep it how it is. But the fact that in your commitment, like recommitment video, you were wearing the Group of 5 school in your state, or now Power 5 school in your state UCF merch in your commitment video was disrespectful. And then you wait till 2 hours after they select you to represent their university at Media Day, and you enter the portal unexpectedly. To me, that's just not how you do things. And I really do think that I think it was disrespectful in the way he did it. And it's just a sad situation, man.
Yeah, so that leads me to believe that UCF or somebody made that phone call. Maybe they didn't have a spot open and now they got a spot open. because you don't make a move like that unless something has changed. And like you said, wearing any other team gear in your video where you recommitting to your current school is just not a good look. You know, that's just not a good look. So you were never really committed back to FAMU, I don't feel like. And Willie Simmons fell on a lot of swords for him. You know, I mean, he put himself out there big time online and, you know, really hurt his reputation a little bit to me. So if I'm Willie Simmons, I gotta be a little bit sour the way that went down. What you think, Jamie G?
Man, hey, man, after like y'all saying, man, I think he kind of messed up his little reputation, man. Hopefully he got something lined up because, hey, this season it's right around the corner and a lot of spots are being filled. So hey, he better jump on somebody train ASAP or he might be looking a little crazy still in the portal.
I really do think, and I talked to Coach Fred about this last night, because I don't know how many people have heard the term like de-recruitment, where it happens a lot, especially out of high school, where teams and coaches recruit a kid so hard that it affects their ability to coach him because you build up their head. All they hear is you praise them and positive things, that once you offer that coaching and you're like, hey, now you're on campus and we need you to do this, they respond negatively to it. So you have to almost de-recruit them at that point. I really do think Willie and that staff recruited him so hard out of the portal that I think he was expecting more than that they were willing to give to a point. And whether I'm not speculating on whether it was NIL or what it was, but I think that he thought he became bigger than what he was. He had one breakout year, and I just think there was like maybe a miscommunication or a increased expectation on what FAMU was going to deliver once he got back to campus.
And if that's the case, I feel like that's still a little rash, because even if they told you something, unless they said we're gonna give it to you tomorrow, you know, you still got a chance to get whatever it is that they promised you. If that's what they did, I don't know. But it's almost like you were waiting for something else to come through or something, and you know, now you out. I just feel like there's so much better ways to handle that, you know, because like I said, the uproar from people with him coming back changed a lot of perceptions of people. And if I'm like I say, I don't get mad with any kid that leaves. Hell, I don't get mad if you come back and leave. It's your choice. You know, you the one got to live with whatever you do. But it's a way to do everything, and I feel like that. To me, that burned a bridge. If it don't work out for him, and he, you know, good luck. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's what I said. It is what it is.
Just leave it at that.
World.
Yeah, I mean, you know, anything else that I wanted to say about that goes against what my philosophy is on talking about players on my show. So I don't want to really, you know, put it too bad. But you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't even give a post about how this was such a tough decision because you already gave that post. You can't run it back again, you know. So let's continue with the media day list because that's what we were doing before I stopped that. Groundland is bringing Sundiata Anderson, defensive end, and Lewis Matthews. They're bringing two defensive guys, no Miles Crawley. Kind of interesting to me.
Washington declared for the draft, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was one of my favorite players, man. Kind of hate to see him not coming back. Did he do supplemental draft or something? I mean,
no, I think they only have two guys for the supplemental draft.
Yeah, no, like he declared for the NFL, like actually, like it went to like the main draft and did not get drafted.
Which I really was surprised at that move because I mean the guy was injured most of the season and I guess he wanted to try his luck. You know, you can't stop him. Jackson State bringing J.D. Martin and Devontae Davis. I'm interested to see J.D. Martin this season, man. I feel like he's gonna have a really good season.
Yeah,
me too.
I don't mind either of the players that that Jackson brought. To be honest with you, Grambling, I don't mind two defensive players. Like, yeah, would I like to speak to Crawley? Absolutely, but at the end of the at least the two defensive players make sense. It wasn't just like an off the wall pick. But
Oh yeah,
I will say, Lyndon Rash, I think, is someone I am surprised isn't going, because I feel like he has earned his ability to go represent Grambling on that stage.
yeah, and Lyndon Rash is from Baton Rouge, so I'm always ride for my BR dudes. So I really would have liked to see him do his thing. I'm glad he's getting some shine. But Sandiata Anderson is one of the best defensive linemen in the conference, and Lewis Matthews is one of the top linebackers. So like you said, that's not a bad choice. Blue, Crook wanted to know, did you know who JSU quarterback is? He said JD Martin must be the quarterback. He cracking jokes today.
No, I don't know who. I don't know if Jackson knows who Jackson quarterback is right now.
I just hope this, y'all. Please, for the love of God.
Oh, go ahead.
Grambling, do not bring them mariachi sombreros back to the media day. That's all I ask. Go to the nice men's warehouse, get y'all some nice black suits, nice white shirt with the black and gold tie with the little G on them, and just keep it simple.
Yeah, no need to be flashy this year. Valley bringing Jamari Jones and Brandon Williams, who's a defensive back.
I'm interested in Jamari Jones coming because he was a pretty good player coming out of Northwest ranking. So I'm interested to see what he has to say for this media day. So I like it.
All right, moving on to Prairie View, we got Ahmad Antoine, running back, and Keyshawn Johnson, a linebacker.
I don't mind it. I mean, I would have liked to see Caleb Johnson, but I know it's not typical to bring a newcomer to media day. Like, some schools want to let the guys who have been there for a while represent the university, so I don't mind it. Ahmad's earned his time too, but I really think I would have liked to see Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, I think if anybody, especially since you brought Conley last year, I would like to see Caleb Johnson, because I think that's a guy that deserves that kind of stage. I hate the term, but he's a well-spoken guy, man. You know, he's really intelligent, and I think he could have put on some good interviews. I would have loved to see him be on there. Also one of my favorite running backs. But Antoine put in the work. He had a really solid season last year. I think he's going to have a better season this year, so he's deserving. Moving on to Southern, Harold Blood, quarterback, and Jalen Campbell, linebacker. I'm a little intrigued that they brought Harold Blood, but I mean, you know, all signs pretty much point him as a starting QB. So I mean, you know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna argue too much with that. It's not bad or good.
I don't know. I just I still like those two true freshmen, man. I really do. I think the two true freshmen are going to be very interesting once they step foot on campus.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I really don't think that there's, you know, that Blood has a stranglehold on the position. And like I said, if these young guys could come in and you know, acclimate themselves, they got the talent. You know, they both got the talent, and they both are winners. So I think they both can be able to make something happen. So that's gonna be an interesting race for the majority of the fall camp. I'm gonna be sitting there with my popcorn for that one. All right, and we talked about Pine Bluff, so we're gonna close out the list with Texas Southern, Andrew Body, and Jacob Williams, linebacker, who had a really good season last season. So I think those are two good guys to bring as well.
Yeah, no surprises there. I will say, there is a school who has been talking about how they have the best wide receiving core in the SWAC, and the fact that they did not bring a wide receiver really shocks me.
Oh, you talking about Bama State?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that claim is a little dubious. I think they got talent, but to say they have the best room out of everybody, you know, when you have a lot of guys who haven't really played, and your quarterback situation is as it is, it's tough to put that there. But yeah, I mean, Keyshawn Johnson would have probably been a good choice to bring over a guy like Juwan Howell, who hadn't really started. You know, he was a rotational guy. Johnson is, your top receiver returning, I thought that would be a good look. But I'm not E-Rob. So, and speaking of Bama State, and this is not, I'm not being serious with this at all, but I still wanted to talk about it because I saw y'all talk about on the Golden Boot last week. Andrew Body versus Demetrius Davis. How is that even a conversation in college? Because I know Davis was a tremendous high school quarterback. I'm not trying to go down. Last season, both those guys, their numbers weren't that different, but I don't really see that as a competition.
No, not right now. I mean, the thing that Andrew's shown that D hasn't shown is that he can at least win a big game. Like Andrew went into Alcorn, knocked them off. He's beaten Southern 2 years in a row. Like he has consistently shown that he can win, and play well in some big games. Outside of the MEAC SWAC Challenge, I don't think we really saw that from D Davis, just in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think he had a true breakout game last season. And some of that was injury, some of it was that the offense. Some of it was that the offense, was just bathwater. I don't think he just, I don't think he really had an opportunity to really stand out. So just on that fact alone, I don't see how you can compare those two guys. I mean, anything other than that to me is like blind optimism, and I don't like blind optimism. I don't like homerism. I don't mind it, but that's not my thing. Look like we're having a couple of problems with everybody. Hopefully, we can get this sorted out.
Oh no, yeah,
I'm good.
So, yeah, all someone was trying to call me.
Tell them you're busy.
I'm good. I'm still here.
All right. Well, like I said, I don't want to make a big deal out of that because it was mainly a joke topic for me, but I really wanted to get your thoughts because, when y'all talked about that on the show the other day, that, it led to some good laughs. And I just wanted to have a little fun with that.
Yeah. Listen, D's got potential. Like, I get it. Like, I think he can be good if everything finally clicks together. Yeah, but, man, I'm not putting him on the same level as Andrew right now, who was doing his thing as a freshman, was playing pretty well before he got knocked out. I mean, this is a guy who would have had Texas Southern in the SWAC championship if he doesn't go down against Alabama A&M.
Yeah, I mean, the man was scoring a touchdown, which would have probably put them up at least double digits. So that's a team that was 0 for whatever a couple years ago, and a team full of true sophomores. And he had them right on the brink. So, and beat Southern and Alcorn, So that's something that he has that Davis doesn't have yet. And that's not to say Davis can't do it, but right now you got to look at it that way. I don't like a lot of ifs when I talk about that kind of stuff because we could if any player on the roster for any team. We could if all day on them. I mean, if Bashawn McCray was 6'2", he'd probably still be playing quarterback at Southern. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you could if all day.
Oh, you gonna talk about McCray hype, man?
I mean, I was using that as an example, bro. I'm not trying to make fun of the dude.
I thought you were saying that his height was the reason he was just an okay quarterback.
I mean, it was part of it. I mean, when you can't. I mean, when you that size, bro, and they got to roll you out all the time. The coaches don't really call a lot of that stuff for you. It does hamper you, but that's not a blaming him. He can't help that. I was just saying, like, if you want to because a lot of Davis talk is a lot of if. If you wanted to if it, then I was just using that as an example, bro. I'm not taking a shot at my boy, bro. Don't act like that, bro.
That was your boy last year, man.
I feel like him. I think he's a great kid, bro. I say that every time I talk about him. I think he's a great kid.
Athlete. I think either a running back or maybe a wideout on the defensive side of the ball. I think he could plug in for a team very nicely. Because I seen him play to do that talent, man.
Yeah,
He was behind.
physically, man, the dude got speed. You know, I mean, he's good with the ball in his hands, but he just couldn't really make a lot happen. And I mean, he's a first year starter in D1 football. It happens, but this is not the McCray show, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's talk some games this season that you think are some games to look out for. Blue, you got any games that you think this season people need to look out for?
Oh man, I mean, I've been on it for a while, but that PV All-Core game, I have circled as one that's gonna really set the tone of the division. And PV's got another one too, like Texas Southern this year against PV, Week 1. That is a must-win. Andrew Body, McKinley, that Texas Southern team, you get off on the wrong foot and lose to PV again, man, that outlook on the season gets a lot tougher. Like, you have to win that game if you're Texas Southern. Like, as big as the Blue Blossom Classic, Orange Blossom Classic, whatever you want to call it is, I really do think that Texas Southern PV game is going to be just as impactful to what happens in deciding who eventually represents the West in the SWAC championship.
Yeah, I agree. I think both of those games are huge games, and I'm planning on being at Alcorn Prairie View as the Triple B representative checking in. We got G in the house, the big bad Braves. So I really want to make that PV game, that PV Alcorn game. It's only a couple hours up the road, so I think I'm gonna shoot up there.
If anybody know, them games be lit, bro.
Yes, and I'm seriously debating on going to that Labor Day Classic, man. But I don't really want to miss Southern first game. But I don't know, man. That game is interesting to me in a lot of ways, and it's really making me think about which way I want to go.
Listen, that Bama State Southern game is going to be so good. Like, cause for me, I'm biased. I love going to a game in Montgomery. Because that stadium is so amazing, and if you got a well-attended game there, the environment is amazing.
And see, I haven't been to that new stadium, so that's like the one thing that's the draw for me. Besides Southern playing there, I haven't been to Montgomery since they was playing in the Crampton Bowl, and that tell you how long that's been. I haven't been to Montgomery since like the early 2000s. So I've never had the opportunity to get to the stadium, and I want to check it out. And of course, I got peoples out there. So, but that Texas Southern Prairie View game, man, that game really stands out to me so much. I don't know. I'm torn. But what about you, Jamie? Do you got any games that you think are gonna be some good games to check out?
I always I think Southern and FAMU. They playing again, right? I think they in Brad.
No, they playing in Baton Rouge.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be definitely a must see game. Prairie View, Alcorn always. UAPB and Alcorn always been back and forth barn burner last few years. Most definitely. And also too, another game I got circled on the list. Texas Southern said they come and take over the Jacktown that weekend.
I thought you were about to say they come and take over Mumford, bro. I'm not going out at night, bro. Yes. I'm not going out at night.
We're gonna see what happened with that, because they say it's a year, so we're gonna find out again. So, and always too, any game in Valley is gonna be intriguing, must see game. Who can not fall victim to that trap?
Yeah, it's gonna be, and they got some good home games now. I wanted to touch on one comment. Yes, I will be at the reservation when Southern come there. I can't miss that. So I definitely want to get with my Alcorn people up there. I got a lot of family up there, so definitely gonna be there.
What day is that?
November 4th.
I'm gonna slide through that, bro.
That's gonna be a massive, like that Alcorn Jackson game too. Is going to be a massive game, because it would not surprise me if like both teams needed a win that week to clinch their spot in the SWAC championship. that game could be massive for both teams in that last week of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna pack the vet out for that one. Like I said, anytime Southern come to Alcorn, it's gonna be packed. I haven't been up there since 2016. Had three opportunities to go to Alcorn in 2018 and 2019. Didn't go any of those 3 times.
2019 was it.
Glad I didn't go because we lost 3 times. But they always lit, and I know it's gonna be on point this season because they've been waiting for Southern to come up there. They owe us, so it's definitely gonna be a big one. But Pine Bluff, even though their team is not good, they have a really good home schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got like Southern, Alcorn, Grambling. Their home schedule is tremendous. Other than Miles, and that's no disrespect to Miles. Just SWAC wise, they have a great home schedule. So my Pine Bluff people, man, y'all turn out, man. Y'all got good home games this year.
And then Pine Bluff people, turn out for the Southern Heritage Classic. Let's make that one interesting, man. What happened if Zoe ride the black Cutlass in the Memphis and actually win that game, man?
It can happen. Hey, G, I'm gonna be there. I'm definitely gonna be there, man. I already didn't clear my schedule, so I'm looking forward to some Alcorn hospitality. And definitely gonna be there. That's a must. That's a must.
Yeah, but I always try to get to the reservation every year. You got to get to at least one good one down there at the reservation.
Oh yeah, always.
Deep fried chicken. Hit Route 61 in Natchez. So, you got to do it.
So y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do. That's the problem. Somebody gotta tell y'all what to do, man. Y'all don't want to go to the games, man. Y'all gotta start going to games, bro.
Yeah, that Southern Heritage class is really interesting. That could be a big thing. I think Pine Bluff got to try to win that game, man. I think it could set the standard for not only this season but heading into next year. You want to start off right, winning a big major classic like that. First year head coach coming in and winning the Southern Heritage, man. That'd be major.
Yeah, I think that would be huge, man. Having a couple of little problems here. See if we can get everything worked out. But Jamie G, I say this, man. You have been advocating for that Southern Heritage Classic more than anybody I done heard, bro. So they need to put you on the committee, bro.
Yeah, at least give me some tickets and a parking pass because you're gonna need it up there. If you get you a red little parking pass, man, you get to zip through all the traffic. Man, so that was lovely.
What kind of crowd do you think they're gonna have for that game?
I think it's gonna be a good crowd because a lot of people that might not even, I don't know, Jackson State playing. I don't know, Jackson State playing that weekend. I don't know where, but I think it's gonna be a good draw. Oh. I don't think it's gonna be like 50,000 plus.
Y'all playing in Baton Rouge that Saturday.
Oh well, shoot. Well, it probably more Tennessee State fans than anything. Well, we already know where everybody at J State gonna be down in Mumford.
Yeah, y'all gonna be standing outside, bro. We ain't letting y'all in.
Don't worry about it. Hey, James G, a helicopter in that thing. Like they come in that thing like Nick Saban, bro.
So let me run this past both of y'all, man. September 9th in Baton Rouge is gonna be a weekend of weekends. You got Southern and Jackson and Grambling and LSU. So if y'all planning on coming to Baton Rouge that weekend, man, you need to get a hotel room now because I think it's gonna be crazy. I don't really expect a. Oh, go ahead.
Oh man, you couldn't pay me to be in Baton Rouge that weekend. I'm good. No chance. Listen, I might not even come to the state of Louisiana that weekend. Because you remember my old co-host lives in Baton Rouge, and he texted me when both of those games were announced on the same week, and he said, man, I might just sell my house out for that weekend because he was like, I'd make a killing as an Airbnb that weekend.
Oh yeah, and I don't know how many people been to Baton Rouge, but it's not easy to get around this city, especially around the LSU area. So if you
Mm-hmm.
in the area, you probably gonna have to navigate a lot of different ways to get around. I'm lucky. I'm coming from North Side, so I ain't got to get in all that traffic. But if you're going anywhere in the city that weekend, it's gonna be bananas. So I really don't. Yeah, G, you know you want to be on the bluff that weekend. I already know you're gonna be up there. Now don't wear all that Alcorn stuff though, but that's how he rocks. So I know
I might give me a room in Macomb then, if that's the crazy.
you might have to, man, because across the river.
Goodness gracious.
But at that weekend, man, I don't know who idea that was to do that. I don't know if it was intentional or if it just fell that way. But that's that's a crazy weekend. The only thing worse than that is if it's an FSU FAMU game at home for both of them, because then it's even worse because those two schools right next to each other are close enough to each other. Luckily, we got some distance between us.
Are the games at the same time, or does LSU play early and Southern play late?
I think LSU play at 12, ain't it?
No, I think it's a night game or evening game. Let me. I want to say our game is at 6, and I think their game is at like 6:30, or might be 6.
Ooh, man, when those games end at the same time, it's going to be gridlocked throughout Baton
Rouge. Oh yeah, you can't go nowhere. If you're trying to go anywhere past Midtown, you're not gonna make it. This city is gonna be, and LSU don't got the best traffic flow. Nor does Southern. Neither school has a good traffic flow when it comes to big games.
Maybe I need to ride a charter bus that weekend.
LSU. That might be your best bet.
Yeah,
LSU
like
play at 6:30. Yeah,
it's gonna be like the Alcorn game last year, where you got to get there like 4:30 in the morning for that kickoff later that afternoon.
If you don't have a parking pass as you go in a Southern game, you need to get there as early as you can because
Not leave your doors unlocked. Nah, don't do it. Please don't do that.
that man sending them folks to the hood. Come to Glen Oaks. Hey, just come across Plank, man, and be right there by my old area of town. But it's gonna be nutty, man. I might have gone to that Grambling game if Southern wasn't playing Jackson State at home that weekend. But now that's a no-go. So good luck, Grambling.
Tony Seafood gonna make money.
The casino's gonna make money.
Dallas is gonna make money again.
I mean, just think about how much money the city of Baton Rouge is gonna make that weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna make they're gonna make a killing because they gonna gouge they gonna charge New Orleans Bayou Classic prices for that weekend, man. So if you gotta stay in the city, man, bring you some money because they gonna tax you hard.
Yeah, that's gonna be insane. So I got to ask you guys, what's y'all's prediction for preseason SWAC offensive and defensive player of the year?
I'm gonna let Jamie G, you go first.
Offensive player of the year, just a wild guess. I think it's gonna probably be right now. It's probably gonna be Musa. It will be my guess. That just. My guess is gonna be Musa. Defensive player of the year, Maddox for Alabama State.
Oh boy, you pulled one out the hat. I wasn't thinking that way. I want to say Jarvion Howard, but people love quarterbacks, so I think it's gonna be Musa. And defensively, I'm torn between either Bubba Adams or Isaiah Major. I guess depending on what day of the week it is. So today I'm gonna go with Isaiah Major. I think he's gonna be the guy. What about you, Blue?
Listen, I said last night, if they do not vote Jarvion Howard as preseason player of the year, we got to throw everyone who's voted away. Dude, what else do you want from because, like, let's be honest. I mean, Musa did not have a SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. Like Jarvion is the only player in the SWAC to earn FCS All-American honors. If he doesn't get preseason Player of the Year, I mean, at this point, just call it the Quarterback of the Year award because that's not given to the best player in the conference. And then on the defense, I got to go with Bubba just because, again, he's the only guy to earn multiple All-American honors. And I think Isaiah Major's a close second. I also think Sundiata Anderson's going to get some looks. But I think if you're basing it on performance, it's got to be Jarvion and Bubba.
Yeah, I mean, Bubba had over 120 tackles last season. So, you know, I mean, he's a guy who, and he's, you know, going to be the centerpiece of that defense. And I personally would love for Howard to get the preseason Player of the Year. I mean, the dude's a hell of a running back. You know, I mean, we haven't had a back come through the league like that in quite some time. But I just get this feeling that people just like quarterbacks so much. And yeah, Musa didn't have the best season, but he's the top quarterback coming back, I guess you could say. But if they don't vote Howard, then yeah, I agree. I got a problem. I got a problem with that.
Yeah, I just don't understand what you're looking at that point. Because, and the fact that maybe it's just me because other conferences, so the SoCon and some of the other conferences have like media that votes for like preseason Player of the Year, the predicted rankings and all that for the divisions and of our conference. The SWAC is like, we're going to get the SIDs and coaches to vote. And it was like, could you find a more biased group to vote for this kind of stuff?
Wow.
So as a person that's at media day, they don't give y'all any options to vote on nothing?
Not unless they changed it. Someone said they used to let media vote and then like they stopped doing it.
Yeah, I think SIDs is biased, and I mean a lot of people don't watch other teams, or some of them barely watch their own teams. I would think you would want to encourage the media to be involved, and you probably would get a better vote. And now I see why you have some of them crazy people on all SWAC teams if you're not letting outside people vote on these guys. I would love to see a unanimous Jarvion Howard preseason Player of the Year, but I just got this weird feeling that that Moose are gonna get it. And I don't have nothing against him. He just didn't have a great season to me.
The average season, I thought that it was his first time at FAMU, but I don't think he deserves preseason Player of the Year. That's just me. I get it. It's always a quarterback award, and that's probably what they're going to do. But it's a disservice to Jarvion, to say the least.
Yeah, I think so. Do y'all have any players that y'all think might be flying under the radar, like an underrated type guy that we need to look out for?
Oh man,
I think for one,
I'm trying to think if anyone's just underrated because I still think Adrian Maddox is underrated.
Yeah, I don't think he get any of the attention that he deserves.
Right. I think I like my boy Petrie, man, from Southern.
Yeah, I think he gonna. He's a guy, man. Quarterback got to be able to get in the ball, man. The guy got like a 42-inch verse, so he's a jump ball guy. Him or Cassius Allen, I like both of those guys. I like G said Montario Hunt. I know he not. That dude is. He's gonna be up for a really great season, man. I think his numbers gonna jump this season.
I think you could throw it like even if you're looking at Southern, Christian Davis at cornerback too. After the year that he had last year, I think he's due for a big jump. And a little bias there because he came from my hometown, went to my same high school, but I like him. Jordan Carter at Southern too. I think is someone that could potentially have a breakout year. And then I'm just trying to think of just around the SWAC because we know a lot of the Jackson guys got a whole bunch of hype, but for Valley, they have a running back, and I'm blanking on the kid's name, but he was a transfer from South Alabama. Apparently, in the spring, he's looked like a potential SWAC Player of the Year candidate, from what I was told.
Hey, I'm going to keep an eye on that guy. My Valley people, man, y'all chime in if y'all know who that is. Yeah, Dimitri Marcel, that's a guy who came in with some nice accolades from Boise State, from Bowie State. I say Boise State. Why am I thinking from Bowie State? But he got injured last season, didn't really play. So I'm definitely looking to see him getting that secondary. Southern secondary going to be really good this season. I mean, yeah, you're losing Corian Harris, who is a dog, and that guy is one of the few guys that was all conference everywhere he went. Yeah, I mean that's a dog. And he he was a big time playmaker in that secondary. But I like Southern secondary a lot this season.
You gotta give it up to Conley. Is it Conley from PV?
Yeah,
I think that's another underrated guy, because I feel like if they really can find a way to really pass the football, the dude can really throw.
So, Blue, do you think Bubba McDowell actually let that offense pass the ball some this season, or you think they're just going to run it 100 times again?
I don't think you go recruit Caleb Johnson to add to a mod at running back with that offensive line to throw the ball 30 times a game. They're going to try to run it down someone's throat. And I don't blame them. Listen, if I had a mod, Antoine and Caleb Johnson with 10 of my top 12 O-linemen coming back, man, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and run the ball 45 times until you put 10 in the box to stop me.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame them. And, I mean, you got a quarterback that can run, too. So I would be like those Army teams. Army don't throw the ball but 4 or 5 times a game sometimes. If that, it's like you're going to have to stop me from running the ball. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take myself out of it. You got to take it from me. So I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I know they're going to run it. They're not going to stop running it. I don't think they will ever throw the ball a whole lot. I don't, I think they're going to try to grind you out. Sometimes I just think when they fall behind, it's tough to come back.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
Triple option?
Triple option would be interesting, because I think there's going to be a few teams that are going to be like that, though. I don't think it's just PV, because PV is going to be a grinded out run first team. I think Southern, with all the inexperienced at quarterback and all the talent at running back, especially with Kobe Dillon being healthy, that's going to be a run first grinded out team with a big offensive line. Valley's going to be a run first team. And then, of course, Alcorn, you got Tyler Macon, who can potentially run a high 4.4, low 4.5. Then you got Jarvion and Nico Duffy. They're going to be a run-first team. So it's really –
Yep, he's still there.
Yeah, Nico Duffy's got one more year left. So that whole – I think there's a whole contention in the SWAC that I think you're going to see a lot more run first, and we're going to try to run it down your throat. And I'm really interested to see how that works against some of the teams that might be sticking to more of the spread scheme.
Yeah, I can really see a lot of teams being run heavy this season because A, a lot of teams don't have experience at quarterback, and B, there's a lot of great running backs in this league. So why not feature them? I mean, almost every team got at least 2 guys that are really good backs. And like I said, when a guy like Nico Duffy is your backup running back, that says a lot about your team. And Javante Leatherwood, who was a really solid runner last season, Alcorn loaded in the backfield, man. And when Coach Fred got backs, he used them. So
them young man, he got young mans back there.
He got them young mans running that ball.
And let's not forget Alabama A&M. Donovan England comes.
Yeah, he came on really strong last season. Had like 500 or 600 yard games in the mid portion of the season. So he's gonna be a good contender to run the ball. Like you said, Valley gonna run it. Texas Southern still gonna run it. They got great backs. They got Darius Owens and Corey Howard. I heard Howard then lost some weight. Andrew Body can run the ball. Grambling, don't count. Floyd Chalk and those guys, up there running the ball. They got Keelan Elder back at running back. Got my boy Deuce Williams, young back. So it's a lot of teams gonna run the football. I think it's gonna be not as much passing as a lot of people would like, but that's great for me. So
yeah,
we coming with some more issue stuff. Oh, go ahead, Blue.
Oh, I was gonna say I like running the. I'm an O lineman at heart, so I love seeing. I want someone to run it down someone's throat. Like, just give me that over throwing it 50 times a game.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I'm not an O lineman at all. Never even been close to that weight wise. But I'm a guy who love the run game, man. Like I'm the person that's sitting at the game yelling, "Run the ball" all game long. People hate to sit by me because I always yell, "Run the football." You know, like I don't. I mean, I don't mind passing the ball. It's electric. It's fun. But to me, when a team can run the ball on somebody, you can really grind a team out, and you can really take a team will if you can really line up and run it at them. I've seen some really solid defenses get wore down by a strong run game. You know, passing don't really do that.
No, I mean, because look at let's just. I mean, like I always like to say, history informs future decisions for everybody. Man, look at some of like you can take some of the most high flying explosive offenses, and if you face a team that can run the ball 45, 50 times a game and get 5-6 yards per carry for the game, they don't know how to handle it. And there's nothing more disheartening than watching your team give up 350 yards on the ground and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing you can do. I mean, all you can do is sit back and watch that clock tick, watch the down marker move, and watch them move up and down the field. I mean, it's because like they say, when you throw the ball, bad things. What it is like throw the ball, two bad things can happen or whatever. So when you run the ball, you're not gonna fumble that much. So really, your chances of problems are low. Is there anybody who y'all would say is like the scariest guy in open field?
Oh, that's tough. I'm trying to think of all the top running backs in the SWAC, and like if there's one that, I'll say this: based on Grambling's got some good candidates for that. I'll say that because all their backs, they're really not big bruisers. They're all guys who are just straight speed and athleticism. So, like, I think those would be some good candidates. But I'd say one that is probably underrated is Nico Duffy. Nico Duffy may be one of the scariest guys to get caught one-on-one in the open field against.
Yeah, and he's a guy, man. He can do, he can catch the ball. He can return kicks. He's a all-around guy. And if you get him in open field, man, he's tough to bring down. So I like that. Do y'all hear it? Blue, have you heard anything about a guy from Southern Miss transferring to Grambling as a running back?
Yeah, I want to say his nickname's Boogie. I don't remember what his full name is, but I remember his Twitter handle is Boogie. But based on what I saw in the spring game, I got a feeling that I think Elder is going to take a huge step forward. I think Lamborghini, of course, is going to get some looks, but they're so deep. I don't think there's going to be one guy that just dominates the running back room. I think for Grambling, I would be surprised if they have a 1,000-yard rusher, but I wouldn't be surprised if they have two guys over 500, one guy at 350, and they got a bunch of guys over 200 yards.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be, like you say, that kind of team that spread the ball around, multiple guys run the ball. I really think Grambling's biggest issue is can Hugh Jackson get out the way?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not calling plays this year, so that's the first step.
Yeah, that's a huge step because Hugh Jackson cost them the Bayou Classic. I say that every week. There's no way that you running the ball down a team throat and you stop and start to throw in the second half.
Right.
And then you turn the ball over 3 times, giving up 2 defensive touchdowns, and you lose. So that's bad coaching right there. So being able to admit that you're not the one with the book in your hands and giving it to somebody else, I think that's a good step. So
who's the offensive coordinator? Ted White still there?
No, who is it? Tony Hall?
Tony Hull is the new OC.
Yeah.
What's his background?
A stud in high school Louisiana circles. Because who was the kid that I forgot what high school he coached at, but didn't he coach the Gatorade State Player of the Year back in 2014 at quarterback?
Yeah, I think he did. I'm let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I want to say he did, but he came from Louisiana Monroe, Jamie. That was his last stop. But he was a big name in Louisiana high school circles. He's a younger guy, and he's a really good offensive mind. I got a chance to talk to him after the spring game, and people are excited. And I really do think the fact that John Simon was willing to kind of take a step back and that Hugh Jackson really went and trusted a guy who really is getting his first opportunity to call his first offense by himself. To me, that's a huge vote of confidence for a younger offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he coached at Warren Easton in New Orleans. And that if y'all know New Orleans football, Edna Carr and then Easton is right there with them, especially the last few years. So he had a they didn't say who it was, but he did coach the Gatorade Player of the Year in 2014. And 6 guys that he had made the ESPN Top 300. So he's a guy, man. And their offense has always been explosive over there. So he definitely gonna be a guy who can probably get that offense going. And like I say, he's young, so that never hurts. Speaking of ULM, though, I see Broderick Falls got a job over there coaching.
And my boy.
And Jason Rollins.
And my boy Jason Rollins.
So salute them guys for getting jobs again. So, man, I think we're gonna go ahead and start to wrap this thing on up, man. We definitely appreciate y'all stopping in with us, man. Blue dropped off again. Hopefully we can get him on real quick before we get up out of here. But definitely want to thank y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Man, we getting mad close to that 1K, bro.
Yes, sir.
It's ridiculous.
Let's get to that 1,000.
Let's get there, man. And I got a couple things that I'm working on. I got a big interview that I'm working on, man. That if I can pull this off, it's gonna be a really nice one. I'm working on the logistics of it right now, so y'all stay tuned for that. I got my previews still going. I got my FAMU preview going up on Sunday. I got Grambling coming on Wednesday, and next Sunday got Jackson State. So I know everybody gonna be watching that one. Number 16, Jackson State.
Number 16 out of 21, baby.
So I'm gonna keep that one in my hat for a while, but I got that kind of stuff going, man. So and we got a couple things that we're gonna work on for football season. My boy, I don't know, my boy Craig's still on, but he had a good idea, man, about getting together with some of the people, some of the other people that do some of our SWAC content at some of these games, man, and get together and do a live video or something, man.
That'd be dope right there.
Definitely trying to make some things happen. Trying to make, we on the road, man. Link up with everybody, man. Let's make this a big community and continue to do what we do, man. So Little Jason, you can't talk to him until y'all move up in the poll.
Yeah, bro. I know, right? Oh, we gonna move on up. Don't worry about it. We'll be there. It's just preseason,
Oh yeah.
It's just talk, man.
Well, I got my SU stuff, but man, like I said, I try to show love to everybody, man. I could talk Southern all day, but I want to kind of spread it around. I save my Southern stuff heavy for season. That's when I really be more Jaguar tuned. I try to be more even in the preseason, especially to some of these teams. Yeah, I mean, Jags all day, man. You can't, like we said last week, you can't spell success without SU. So you can't go wrong with that. And we'll see what happens with that, man. So man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up, man, and try to see if I can find me something to eat, man. Jamie, G, you coming down for the JSU SU game?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be there, man. I got family in Baton Rouge now. I gotta slide through, man. I'm gonna try my best to be down there.
We definitely gonna make some things happen. Got DJ that slid in, bro. Well, you mad late, bro. You mad late.
I might put up a DJ at the game, man. We might swing down there.
Hey, yeah. More the merrier, man. Come through. So yeah, we're gonna try to make something happen when the Boombox Classic kick off, man. We're gonna try to do our thing. And other than that, man, I ain't got too much else to throw in now. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up. before I get a knock on the door talking about how long you're gonna be. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up. We're gonna yeah, y'all come to the Gump, man. Y'all come to the Gump. Y'all go to the Hornets Nest and get y'all something to eat over there at the stadium. I know that much. I ain't been there, but I heard they got some good stuff there. So y'all make sure y'all check in with my boy DJ when y'all hit the Gump. And if y'all in Jacktown, y'all check out Jamie G. He gonna take y'all get our stamp burger. And keep y'all out them potholes that's swallowing up garbage trucks.
Lord have mercy. That boy hit a crater in South Jackson.
I'm sorry, that thing swallowed up the whole back of the truck, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm glad I got my garbage picked up. Put it that way.
Yes, indeed. Your garbage gonna be in that dumpster, bro. in that crater. And nobody drinking on nothing tonight, D, man. We keeping it chill. But man, like I said, we can go ahead and sign on out of here, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe before y'all get out of here and hit that like button. Shout out to Blue, man. He traveling right now, so I definitely appreciate him being able to stop and do a little something with us, man. So y'all know how Blue get down. So salute to him, man, for coming through and rocking with us. And we're gonna get on up out of here, man. So we'll catch y'all next week on. Hold on, I think Blue checking in. Yeah. Say, Blue, we about to wrap this thing on up, man. You got anything? Anybody need to look forward to coming from you?
Man, just media day coverage over this next probably 2-3 weeks, man. Got some really dope SWAC interviews coming, man. So I'm looking forward to dropping those. So you can just find all those on the channel, man. And any written content you want to see, it's just the bluebloodcfe.com, man. But I appreciate y'all for having me, and hopefully next time I get to hop on, I won't be traveling, man. We'll get to hop on camera with y'all and chop it up.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, just let me know your travel schedule, man. We're gonna plan around your schedule because you're a dude I definitely like to have on the show. So we're gonna try to hook up more often, man. Definitely appreciate you coming through and taking time out of your travel. Man, that means a lot. So man, thank you for rocking with us, and we'll be back for another edition of SWAC Smoke, y'all. Y'all have a good evening.